All right, my friends, so welcome to the series finale on using Vanguard funds to generate income in retirement. Two types of income we're trying to generate. One is guaranteed income via annuitizing any gains you have from the year prior, or two, taking 5% a year regardless of gains or upward markets, down markets, doesn't matter. Either way, we're saying we're going to generate income from our Vanguard VASGX, Vanguard Life Strategy Growth Fund. In one case, we're guaranteeing an income stream via income annuities. In the other case, we're just doing 5% a year distribution. So let's see what the end results are and compare the two. I think it's actually pretty interesting. Don't forget to subscribe. All right. So we got the annuity. All right. So we started in 1995 with $100,000. We ended in 2017 with $100,000 because we're not doing 2018 just because we're not done with the year. We ended with 100. So we started with 100, we ended with 100. All right. We have 143,000 of total income is what we took from this guy over the course of those 23 years. 143,000 total of income. Actually, I didn't do an average. How much was that average? That would have been, if we would have 143,000 divided by 23. About $6,200 a year in income is what we averaged. Let me write that down. So we averaged $6,217 a year. All right. And so we have 100,000 started, 100,000 end, took 143,000 of income. We end with $100,000. Our end of year and end of 2017, we have 10,058 of guaranteed income. We've averaged 6,217. The 5% rule, we had started with 100,000. We have 195,000 when we're all said and done. So we have almost double what we have in the annuity, almost double what we started with. And again, this includes some serious, crazy markets. So we've taken 5% a year off. We have $195,000, which is $95,000 more than the annuity. And we've taken $194,000 of total income. And that gives us an average of $84.56. All right, $84.56. All right, so let's do this. $84.56 is the average a year. All right, so just with those two things alone, you're like, man, we only got 100,000 here. We start with 100. We haven't made any money, and we have 95,000 less than what we have over here, and we have another 50,000 less than we have over there. So essentially, it's 150,000 was the opportunity cost from going this route as opposed to that. We're not done though. I'm telling you. Do you think that's it? Don't stop there. There's the second part of this. All right, so we'll just say going into 2019 just for simplicity, because whatever. We'll just say 2019. So we're starting the year in 2019. What are we starting with? Well, we know, all right, so we started this when we were 60 years old. I meant to say that too. So we started with Jane and Bob started when they were, actually should be just be Jane because I'm just using a single. I'm not using a joint, or did I use a, yeah, joint life survivor annuity. So with a 5% distribution rate. Or a payout rate. So we're starting with Jane and Bob when they're 60. Now they're 80, all right? So now they're 80 years old. Jane and Bob, how much they have guaranteed on this side? Well, they have none guaranteed. It's 5% of whatever the portfolio value is. So theoretically, the portfolio value could go to zero. That's not going to happen, but it could. On the other hand, Jane and Bob have a guaranteed head start on these guys of $10,000 because all these are guaranteed income annuities at $10,000 a year. All right, so Jane and Bob starting with $10,000 a year. We know that for a fact. They have no guaranteed income. All right, so 2019, there's three things that can happen. Market goes up, the market goes down, the market stays flat. Three things. So let's run the scenarios on both sides. Market goes up 20%, and no one's really thinking that's likely, but let's just say it did, because no one thought in 2017 the market would go up 20%, but it did. If the market goes up 20%, Jane and Bob will have another $11,700 they can take as income, because 5% off $195,000 at a 20% increase would give them $11,700. So if the market goes up 20%, they're going to have $11,700 as income they can take. The market stays flat. They start the year at $195. They end the year with $195. They take 5% off that. They're going to have $9,750 of income to take. So if the market goes up, they get $1,170 or $11,700. The market stays flat. They have $97,700 to take. Market goes down 30%, and most of us are waiting for a pretty significant bear market. their income will drop to $68.25. And remember, we started the whole cycle back in 1995 with an income stream of basically 60, I think it's $6,000 or something like that. So not a significant amount more than what they started with 23 years ago. So the market goes up, they get 11,700 income. The market stays flat, they get 9,750. Market goes down, their portfolio drops, and then their income stream drops to 68.25. So a pretty significant decline. All right, now on the other hand, here's Jane and Sue, or Jane and Bob, when they have the annuity. Market goes up 20%. Their income is guaranteed at $10,050. They'll add another $1,000 to that, so the market goes up 20%. They're going to have $11,058 guaranteed, even though they're only starting with $100,000 now. Market goes up 20%. They will be within spitting distance of these guys over here. So Jane and Bob will be spitting distance of Pete and Pam. We'll just use that because the market goes up 20%. Pete and Pam will have 11,700, but market goes up 20% because they'll have 100,000 they start with. They take 20,000 as the income of the capital gain they have. They annuitize it at a 5% distribution rate. And I even hate to use that because when they're 80 years old, the distribution rate will not be 5%. But that's what I'm using just to keep it simple. 20,000 times 0.055. It's probably going to be another $100. But anyway, either way. So we'll say at the market goes up 20%, their guaranteed income is $10,558 plus $1,000 here, which means their income will be $11,058. Market stays flat; it doesn't go up or down. Well, there's nothing for them to withdraw because they have 100,000 in there, and they'll stay at $10,058. Market goes down 30%. I mean, it's painful. They'll have 70,000 in this portfolio, but their income will stay at $10,058. So in both scenarios, they're within spitting distance of Pam and Pat over here, or whatever, Paul and Pam, whatever their names are, on a high market, which isn't likely to happen. On a flat market, they're still above these guys over here. In a down market, they're substantially above these guys over here. And that's where these two things collide. Do you want growth or do you want income? And I'm telling you, when it comes to retirement planning, you can't get both. In terms of you can't say I want growth and income and hope to get both portfolios to work the same way. It just doesn't work like that. I know everyone says you can get growth and income. Well, if you're going for growth, you're going to sacrifice income, all right? Because growth means you might have a loss, which means you're going to have less income. If you're going for income, you're going to sacrifice growth because we have a portfolio of $100,000, but we have guaranteed more income for sure. So we have guaranteed income, but we have less of a portfolio. More of a portfolio, no guaranteed income, which means the income could be sacrificed. And that's why I just want to stress to everybody. If you're looking to build an income portfolio, then you don't want growth so much, you want income. If you're looking to build a growth portfolio, you don't want income so much, you want growth. I mean, you can split the difference for sure, but you're never going to have a growth and income portfolio that gives you the growth of a 100% stock portfolio. It's not going to happen like that. If you want income, you're never going to have the income of a portfolio if you have stocks in there. It's not going to happen. You're not. You have to figure that out. And I can't tell you how many people in my career say, the market was up 35%, but I'm only up 23%. The Windsor Fund back in the late 90s. I'm telling you right now, I remember this like yesterday. They should get rid of that guy, John Neff. I can't remember if it was Bill or John Neff. I always forget. But the manager of Windsor Fund, who's been around for, and I'm sure he doesn't manage anymore, but forever, since the 67 was incepted, they won that guy's head on a platter because he was a growth and income kind of guy managing the fund in growth and income ways. In the late 90s, when the markets were killing it for tech stocks, he wasn't getting hammered. He was making money, just wasn't as much as people wanted. People call into Vanguard, they should fire that guy. I say, he got growth and income fund. I want the growth of the market. And they're like, you're not going to get it. Not if he's going to have not bonds, but dividend stocks and things. It's just not going to happen. You want growth stuff, you're going to have to sacrifice income. You want income stuff, you're going to have to sacrifice growth. You got to understand that. Please, please, please. Do not expect to get the stock-like returns unless you're in a stock-like investment. And what I mean by stock, growth stocks, all right? Do not expect to do that. And I just cannot stress how many people do. And then when they don't get it like that, they sell out of everything, mostly at the most inopportune time. So a couple things going on here. I think I'm underselling the annuities aspect. And the reason for that is because I'm using a 5% distribution or payout rate the entirety of the time. And if you just look at how annuities work, they're based on two things: your interest rates, and they're based on your age. So the payout is higher based on your age. As you get older, you're more likely to die. They're going to pay you more money. That's just a fact. So I think I'm underselling the annuity here because it simply is, it's just not going to be a 5% payout rate as you get older. But again, are we underselling by a huge amount? Probably not. Probably an extra, and all said and done, $150 a month or something like that. I don't know, but I do think I'm underselling it there for sure. But don't forget that inflation, that $100,000 is not going to buy the same thing it did 23 years ago. That's just a fact. I mean, my goodness, 23 years ago, we didn't have Amazon back then. I mean, that's how crazy it was. 23 years ago, Vanguard didn't even have a website yet. So, I mean, they were talking, the same amount of money that you did 23 years ago, but you have a completely different society. It just is mind-boggling, actually. I mean, you think about it. When we started this, that was in Clinton's first term. Clinton's first term. No one knew about Obama, and people knew about Trump, but no one knew, no one knew. I mean, I don't even think with Bush in '94, I think is when he won governorship of Texas, beating Ann Richards. But, so basically George W. Bush was just an afterthought. But, I mean, that's Clinton's first term. I mean, so you still have the same amount of money today in your checking account, your investment account, than you did during Clinton's first term. That's not very profitable to me. In fact, I mean, you do have guaranteed income, which I like. Here, you don't have as much guaranteed income, but you have a higher portfolio value. So that's the trade-off. It's tough. It's tough, which is why I love going back to the two-bucket portfolio. Get your income derived from a guaranteed annuities and some safety net, and a guaranteed income annuities and some safety net and cash, and get your growth to let your growth and don't take income from your growth, take income from your income bucket. You divide the two buckets. You got growth, which you're never tapping. And you divide the other bucket into your income bucket, and then every 5 years you come back and you pull some money off the growth to replenish the income bucket that you've been drawing down. But anyways, that's it. This was a fun exercise for me, actually. I enjoyed it immensely. And was I surprised? I was actually surprised. Yes, I was a little bit surprised. I thought the annuity concept might be a little bit high. Well, I didn't think it'd be higher. I thought it might pay a little bit more income. I am actually also surprised that this is only up $195,000. Now that's not bad, but that's a doubling of your principal over 23 years. I mean, that's okay, but I'm surprised that's not as much. Now, you didn't run out of money, you didn't come close to it, and we were only taking 5% a year off. So you went from $100,000 to basically $200,000 over 23 years, and you took out another roughly $200,000. And we've had some very interesting markets, but I would have thought that would have been worth more. I would have thought we'd have more income from this as well, and it just shows you that. There's no safety. You have no room to err in this. You just can't. We're not even talking about fees. If you throw fees on this, it's just, please don't do that. And this is why those retirement scenarios where they don't talk about fees or taxes drive me crazy, because it's completely disingenuous. I mean, if you had a 1% fee on top of this, it's going to look bad. On both of them, actually. Not just this guy, but this guy too. It's going to look bad. So I was surprised. I was a little bit disappointed, actually, in the lack of growth here. I mean, we'll take it, and the lack of income here, and again, we'll take it, but it definitely made me revisit the fact that you got to watch what you can afford, which is the fee. You got to watch the expenses, fees and taxes. If you can focus on those two things, let the markets do as they will, you're going to end up all right. I mean, you still got money coming in, guaranteed $10,000 a year, $195,000 start the year. Even if that sucker drops by 30%, you're still down to, you still got 134 in there, and you're still pulling $6,800. So, anyway, I hope you found this interesting. I enjoyed it, and as always, you got comments, questions, thoughts on videos. I'd love to hear them because I love this stuff. I can do it till I'm blue in the face. So we'll see you next time. Subscribe, share the videos, go to the blog at Heritage Wealth Planning. Shameless plug: if you use anything on Amazon, you want to go to my thing on the link here, Amazon, through my link on the show notes down there. Click on. I do get paid. I think it's like a 4% on anything you buy. So if you buy $100, I get $4. So if this was worth it to you, worth $4, and you want to buy something on Amazon, do it on my thing. I appreciate it. And so we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.